I noticed we were just doing the podcast, and I was like, oh, we should actually do the intro first. And then
it was a good warm up, yeah. Hi, my name is Scorpion, and this is my co-host with the Mo-host.
Mo-host?
Yep, his name's Mo-host.
Mofred.
So we're talking about trilogies. They're good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, and funnily enough, we're not going to talk about that one, even though it is probably a good trilogy, but it's just
probably the only good trilogy.
Couldn't be bothered to suss it out.
Yep, we would still be watching it if we were to do so.
Yeah, but instead we're going to talk about, first up, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and maybe some literature. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
Go into a bit of Divine Comedy.
Nice.
There's not really a whole lot to pick from in terms of trilogies. I think
good ones.
I think a question with sequels, a big question is like whether or not a sequel has merit, or if there is like creative. If it's just creative bankruptcy.
If you go too different with it, what's the point? But if you keep it the same, well then, what's the point again? Yeah,
exactly. I do think trilogies are pretty much always creative bankruptcy. It's basically just there's nothing there to them. I think it's always a cash grab sort of thing. The oldest surviving trilogy is a trilogy of Greek plays written in, and they were performed in Dionysian festivals, like the wine festivals and stuff.
Yes. Yep.
And this play is called, this trilogy of plays is called Oresteia or Orestea.
Orestea.
I'm gonna butcher all of these Greek names.
That's fine. And what is this play about? All these series of plays?
Well, they're about murders of particular Greek gods and
by other gods, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Okay. So the first one's
just
about
classic Greek trilogy.
Greek tragedies. Yeah.
Yes.
The first one's called Agamemnon. It's about the murder of Agamemnon by Clytemnestra. Second one's about the murder of Clytemnestra by Orestes. And the third one is about the end of the curse on the house of Atreus, which sounds like some Dune plotline shit. And the pacification of the Furies.
Nice. Love the verbiage of Greek stuff. It's incredible.
Yeah. I wish I could be bothered to read it. But,
yeah.
Gotta
learn Greek first.
Yeah. I would like to go to Greece.
It would have been Latin, I think.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. I don't know much about history.
I haven't been to Greece, but I've been to Italy.
Yeah? Is it close?
Well, the Romans... Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's...
Like close as in...
Close as in not really.
Yeah.
You've got like Spain and then Greece, I think. Turkey's there.
They're both places you think of like beautiful Mediterranean, like... Yeah. But yeah, they also sort of... these plays, they're also about like how the gods interact with people as well. And
like too much? Is like a negative...
I don't... No, like I haven't really gone too much into it, but I think it's just a big part of them is how the gods influenced and interacted with the characters in the story, and their decisions relating to the events and disputes and stuff. Greek tragedies basically influenced everything that came after it in terms of storytelling.
Yeah, it also heavily influenced the Divine Comedy.
Did it?
Yeah,
I didn't.
Which is also another what is it? Trilogy.
Yeah. Now, Divine Comedy doesn't fully count because it's one story divided into three parts. But yeah, I think it counts. It's a trilogy.
Well, I guess Star Wars doesn't count that either, does it?
Yeah, I mean that's the ideal trilogy is a story that's broken into three parts, but you do want each part to stand on its own a bit. I haven't read all of Divine Comedy, but do they stand on their own as individual parts?
No, they continue.
Yeah,
but it's more so like clear. Characters, and things that died previously are brought up.
Yeah,
characters they meet, like Beatrice. Yeah, the first angel he sees, he meets her later on.
Yeah.
I think she's one of the angels fighting off the other demons, and they've just been doing it for ages.
Do you meet Beatrice in Paradiso or Purgatorio?
Purgatorio.
Okay, yeah.
He sees her before they enter hell.
Right.
She's like, "What are you doing?" And he like explains to her.
Yeah, she's the one who called him to summoned him essentially, isn't she?
I think they like go up somewhere, and then he speaks to other angels as well. And he has to explain his reasoning.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a call to action. I think he just did it on his own volition. But Beatrice is based off his first love that he saw in
I was going to ask
Florence, which is the most beautiful city I've ever been to.
Yeah.
So it was very, reading that, I could really...
You could
feel it more. Understand it.
You could see yourself there. And, I'd love to go to Florence. It'd be nice.
Yeah, and it's about Dante travelling through the 7 circles of hell.
Yeah.
And he finally gets...
Is it 7 circles or 9?
No, it's 9.
Okay.
The final one's Purgatory.
Is it?
Yeah, the last...
there's 9 circles of hell.
Treachery?
And then there's 7 layers of Purgatory because it's the 7 deadly sins, isn't it?
Yes.
And then I think it's 9 for Paradiso as well.
But the 9th circle is treachery.
Yeah, and that's what I meant frozen over.
It's frozen, and that's where the devil himself resides. The ultimate sin.
Yeah.
I love it when Dante finally gets to, spoiler alert, when he finally gets to paradise. Yeah. He just breaks down and starts crying.
That's my favourite part.
What are you crying for?
Well.
You're trying to take it away from the others who deserve it.
He wants...
Virgil didn't go with him.
Yeah, that's right. Or Virgil couldn't.
I can't remember why. Virgil's the author of the Aeneid, which we were talking about, which is based off Homer's Odyssey. Yeah. Which Homer wrote, so they're all... Do you know how long before Dante Virgil was? Virgil was during the Roman... Oh, okay. No, he wasn't. He was... I think it was a few hundred years. Yeah. And then Homer was thousands of years. Yeah, okay. Before Homer, yeah. Who wrote the Odyssey? Yeah, the Odyssey and Iliad. Yeah. Did Homer write a third one? I keep thinking he wrote a lot. Another one, only but 2 in the series. He wrote a few things. Yeah. I don't know anything big. It's mainly the Iliad. The Simpsons. All right. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't read any of these. I think I've read a bit of Purgatorio. I know most of Inferno. Yeah, that's the big one. The Inferno's got the good imagery, and Purgatorio's got, I think, the most interesting ideas. Paradiso's just, I think, thematically the richest. Yeah. So they've all got their own element. I think that is the best portrayed in each one. Yeah. Yeah, I just love the ideas. I think it's Virgil was writing it in 19 BC, so I was right. Okay, that's the Roman. Damn. It's 14 books. It's a poem, but I don't understand the the interconnection. Yeah. Or how long before? I mean, maybe that'd be another trilogy to fucking check out. Odyssey is also a poem divided into 24 books. Odyssey. Okay. Iliad. I've got to stop. Just stop in reading. General. But yeah, that's a... Yeah, and then there's so many things that Divine Comedy, is the basis for as well. It's my favourite story. Yeah, it's very universal. It's very... I don't know, I'm not much of a religious nut, but that sort of shit, fucking religious imagery and thematic stuff is very powerful to me, very impactful. I love the questions of what's after death, and that sort of shit's cool. I think the paintings from the Inferno are incredible. Yeah. I'd love to get a few of them printed out, fucking hang them up on the wall and shit. But yeah, John Martin does great paintings of hell or whatever, and it's very you can tell the inspiration of the imagery for that came from. John Martin, who is where is he? Is he American? Yes, he's American. What era? 50s. It sounds like no. I think he's quite older than that. John Martin. I think it's John Martin. Yeah.
He's got he's probably more recent. That's why 1789 he was born.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but the Iliad was about 800 BC.
Yeah.
Aeneid is 19 BC.
Yeah.
And then Divine Comedy was like 1472.
Yeah.
So.
That's very yeah.
Huge.
Big
period
gap
of time.
That's like
and they're all based off the previous one.
They're like as far apart from each other as like we are now from Divine Comedy.
Yeah.
That's fucked. Yeah, like incredible stuff. Everything that came after it is basically owes a debt of gratitude to it.
Halo ODST takes a lot of...
Yeah, one of my favourite games.
That's sort of why I wanted to read.
Yeah. Oh,
Divide.
What spurred it on.
Yeah, because I was like, well, I love this game.
Yeah.
If it's based off this.
Yeah. Fuck. And there's a piece of music, I can't remember who wrote it, but it's a classical piece that's that it goes along with. It's supposed to tell the story of the Divine Comedy. Fucking incredible. It's like I think they're all 20-minute segments or 30-minute segments, but yeah, they're fucking brilliant. So good. It's very Swan Lake-esque.
But no one really talks about the Aeneid, which I find funny.
Yeah,
which is because Virgil wrote the Aeneid, and that's who is helping Dante through. So I just find that funny that...
Yeah. No, more people know about Divine. I guess it's more recent, but...
It's more recent,
but people... I feel like just as many know about, like Odyssey and...
The Iliad,
yeah.
But
yeah. Speaking of Odysseys, Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
A Space Odyssey.
That's a trilogy, actually.
Is it? What do you...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They made like a bunch of unofficial... Yeah, 2001, 2002, and 2003.
Well, there was 2001, 2002, and then the 3000 or something.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah, of course. But
they were like, well, Divine had a big gap, so...
Well, let's talk about something that's probably one of the most derivative... Yeah, well, that we've seen, but also one of the most derivative stories of all time. Star Wars.
The original trilogy.
The original trilogy. Which I think is great. I think it holds up.
The trilogies?
I think the original.
Yeah, but all three?
No, the other two aren't as good, obviously.
No, sorry, I mean the movies individually.
Yes, I think I like this as a trilogy, the originals, more than you do.
It really it fades out. It's got a...
I really like Return of the Jedi.
Very silly.
I get that. It's very goofy.
There's one great scene in it.
Yeah, I love the opening. The opening scene to Return.
Jabba's... I'm not into that.
Yeah, I fucking love it.
I'm not crazy about Jabba's palace and the sail barge and all that. Layers that are scantily clad.
I love that shit. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Woken something in me when I was a kid. Yeah. I thought it was a very thrilling sequence when I was a kid. It was very... but all three of them have an incredible opening scene.
Yes, I can't remember A New Hope's opening.
It's just like straight into it on the Star Destroyer.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Just
what an
dropping
opening.
Straight into the action.
Yeah,
that's my favorite way to start a story is to just get into it.
And it sets up the villains instantly. Yeah. You're just like, everything. Yeah. Nobody says anything.
Yeah, you have that incredible Darth Vader scene where they're all preparing for him to come through the door.
And they can hear it.
Yeah, yeah. It's incredible, and it's such a good way.
The sounds of Star Wars are incredible. They really nailed it with how things sound and the look.
I will take away points for what the Wilhelm scream did to the fucking sound effects industry, but
Man Eaten by Crocodile.
It's even in Lord of the Rings, which we'll talk about. But fucking Man Eating Crocodile. That's right.
Yeah,
Man Eaten by a Crocodile.
I actually heard the how they recorded the Wilhelm scream.
Yeah, how did they?
And it was a guy. I don't know the context. It was just the audio of it.
Yeah.
And it's a guy who does a yell. He's like, oh! And then the director, I'm assuming, is like, no, ow, you're in pain. You know, do that. And then he gives the Wilhelm scream. And one of the comments on the video was gives the most goofiest, unnatural noise in the world.
It's so bad.
But everything else, the sound effects, the set design, the production design, which is forever tainted by the Lucas special editions, but
the Wilhelm I think is in Return of the Jedi.
It'd be in all of them, wouldn't it? Surely,
I think
in every
I think it is
one.
on the Death Star. One of the troopers screams. I don't know about Empire. I don't know if it's in it. The one that's George had the least involvement with, and the one that doesn't have the Wilhelm is
it's the best one.
But A New Hope.
Yeah, A New Hope. I think
great opening. I love Luke.
It borrows a lot from The Hidden Fortress, which every movie borrows from Kurosawa.
Yeah,
but it is exactly the same plot as Hidden Fortress.
Is it?
It's like someone
gets two
like
droids sent
a
to
farm
them.
boy has to protect a princess and a general or something. It's very similar. But I think in Hidden Fortress they don't know the farm or the Luke Skywalker insert isn't aware that they're like a princess or a general.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just Flash Gordon and Hidden Fortress.
Yeah, that's what Star Wars, the mathematical equation used to make Star Wars.
But then it worked.
Yeah, then they took off with fucking Empire, which is just the greatest thing ever made.
I love the opening.
Yeah.
I remember it being this huge battle scene when I was younger that went on for ages, but it doesn't. It's like Hoth. 10 minutes. Hoth.
Yeah, it's not as long as you think.
I love the ending. Great ending.
I always imagine the opening scene takes up like a third of the movie, and it doesn't. It's just it kicks off everything so well. Hoth is such a great environment and setting. All the characters are fucking incredible. They all have something to do in Empire, which I don't feel the same about with Return. I think it's really only Luke that has any sort of storyline in Return.
Yeah.
But I do like Return, I think, more than most people. I do. I get the criticisms about it. I completely understand them, but it just holds a special place in my heart.
What's your favourite scene in A New Hope?
In A New Hope? Honestly, I think I quite like the scene where he finds like Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen. They've been incinerated and shit, and he's sort of like...
He doesn't look, but then he does.
Yeah, I think that scene's... There's, very powerful sort of stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm going to... Probably a bit obvious, but the Binary Sunset.
Yeah.
When he's looking at it and the music kicks in.
Yeah.
And he realises he's destined for more.
Yeah. Incredible music, which, goes without saying.
Yeah. But how does the first one end?
First one ends with Luke blows up the Death Star.
Oh, that's
and then
right.
They get the
Yeah, I'm not really into.
Yeah, I don't like those big happy celebrate victory sort of endings.
Which is just
with no sort of
return.
Fair enough.
Great music though with the Ewok, but I do like that scene of when he's in the trench run, the music's building.
Yeah.
And he's like, Luke, use the Force.
Yeah, I love that shit.
And he turns his thing off, and all the people on the base are like, what is he doing? What's he doing?
Yeah.
And then, he makes the shot. Grand Moff Tarkin. Absolutely love Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yeah, great.
He's so
villain.
scary without doing anything.
Very underrated
when
villain,
he's talking to Princess Leia and she backs up into Vader.
Yeah.
And just showing this how
intimidating.
I think he's better than Sidious. I think Sidious is very 100%.
Sidious is very cartoonish.
It's Grand Moff Tarkin. He's not a Sith, not a Jedi. He's just he's
fucking
just terrified.
Yeah.
He's just Dracula.
He's great. I love him. And it's really fucking undermined the character bringing him into Rogue One, I think.
And Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. Oh, what?
He's in Revenge of the
Sith.
He? Yeah.
Fuck.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But yes, so Empire, that ends with they've lost, basically. The rebels have lost. And
great ending.
Luke has lost his hand.
Yeah.
He's lost everything.
He's
found out who his father was.
Yeah.
And then he's looking out just at the stars.
So much has changed. Yeah.
Han's gone.
Yeah. Which they get him back immediately in the next movie.
Yeah. Which is the opening to...
Yeah. Return.
Yeah, though. And she threatens to blow everyone up.
Yeah.
It's a thermal detonator.
I think that's a good thrilling action sequence. the rest of the movies, iffy. But
I just remember that and Endor. Did anything happen in between? I remember anything.
Yeah, he goes to Yoda and
Yoda
that's
dies, right. They got a Dagobah.
Yeah, there's all that shit.
Yeah.
And he's like kind of toying with sort of joining Darth Vader, but then not really.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like a bunch of like stalling to get to the final showdown, and then
they're like, do the Death Star again.
All the Wookiees, all the Ewoks dance, and
there's one great scene in that though, and it's just with two Ewoks.
Yeah.
I think it's like an ATST or something, like blasts two of them.
Yeah.
As they're running, and they both fall over, and then one gets up, and he goes to call the other one, but he's still laying on the ground. Yeah. And then he goes up to him and like shakes him and realizes he's dead. And he just starts crying over him. Just this super intense scene.
I do think I remember that. The last time I saw it, I was like, what the fuck?
And then it goes back to the elevator, like, you're like, that's horrific. He wanted to have Wookiees originally.
Oh, okay.
But he wanted to make it more kid.
Did wonder if there was a reason why the names were so close, or if just he was running out of ideas. Like Return's not perfect. The other two movies are incredibly solid. It's probably as good as it gets, in terms of movie trilogies.
What's your favorite song from? We'll do those as well. From first with A New Hope. What's your favorite?
My favorite song.
Yeah.
Oh, the Binary Sunset.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, is that just like
it's the
main
Force
theme,
Luke's theme. Yeah. Binary Sunset, like it's.
Yeah.
What about Empire? I'm gonna have to go Imperial March.
Yeah. Imperial March is good. And then whatever fucking naff bullshit the Ewoks.
It's the celebration one at the end.
Yeah. Celebration.
Yeah, Cool in the Gang were in it.
May as fucking well have been. Yeah.
And now we're talking about the Dr. Dolittle trilogy. What are we?
Big Mama's house. No.
What have we got? What do we got now?
Up next, I think we should talk about Lord of the Rings, because I had to watch this trilogy for this episode. I'd never seen it before.
We're going to talk about anything good?
Yeah, well, we may as well.
Yep.
You can give your argument, and I can tell you why you're wrong.
Okay, sweet. All right, I'll take the lead on this.
Yeah.
So Frodo, like his eyes, they're just so immersive. That's all you look at throughout the whole...
Immersive eyes. Submissive eyes. I fucking I don't know. I love the first one. I mean, it's very fun. The first one.
Well,
very. If they just jammed all three of the movies into one, I think loved it.
I think it's a good idea if I just because I haven't seen them for ages. I'll just explain why I like them, and then you can just be like, actually.
That's a good idea.
Push his glasses up on head.
Go for.
So Frodo's eyes. The Fellowship of the Ring. It starts with Hobbiton. You could call it Ewok Village if you want.
Yeah.
They're all running around. They're all happy. And Bilbo's like, and for my next magic trick.
Mm.
And he puts the ring on.
Yeah.
And then walks. This is just what I remember happening.
Yeah, I remember this happening.
Walks back to the house.
Mm.
And Gandalf is like, oh, so you're leaving? He's like, yep. He's like, the ring, Bilbo. I'm like, oh, yes. And then he drops it. Which I think he's the only person who was able to get rid of the ring. Bilbo, after having it for so long. Because Frodo... I'll just skip to the end. But Frodo can't get rid of it. Remember, he goes to keep it. Bilbo's the only character who, after having it for so long, was able to... Yeah, just get rid of it. Give it away.
He, like in the first one, at Rivendell, Frodo meets back up with Bilbo.
Yeah.
When he has the ring. And Bilbo's sort of like... corrupting and like morphing
CG
into one of those creatures. Yeah, the CGI is not great. It does not.
I do remember that scene not being good, and when Liv Tyler does it as well, or Cate Blanchett, she does that same thing.
Yeah, it doesn't look great. Oh, when Cate Blanchett does it, it's actually not that bad.
Because she just ages a lot, doesn't she, or something?
No, that's what I remember. The effects just blend more with her face because she already looks like a freak.
Okay, she's gorgeous, but yeah, that's fine.
But I think it's just sometimes the effects is just completely outdated.
Yes, I remember Bilbo leaving the ring
behind
for Gandalf to give to Frodo or something, and then I remember it cut into daytime again because that happened at night. And then Frodo's there and he's like, Gandalf's here. And he's talking to Gandalf and Gandalf's like, oh, huffing a big loogie.
Yeah, that's right. They're smoking weed.
And he's got the fireworks and he just sets off a dragon in the town and everyone's like, shitting themselves.
Yeah.
And then it's like a whole day, I don't know, they're just talking and fucking or whatever.
Mm.
And then Sam is eavesdropping. He's like, Sam, are you listening in? He's like, no, sir,
that scene is so goofy because they hear like something outside the window and Gandalf just like throws his stick out the window and then he grabs him and throws him in. It's so fucking
two things. Have you seen the bloopers for that?
No.
Because they've got a doll and Gandalf's just like smacking its head into the window frame in the light and just crashed him on the table. And in the cartoon, the animated one, that's Frodo and Bilbo, Frodo and Sam, they're outside with Gandalf, and Gandalf's talking to Frodo, and then he just like does that to Sam, and Sam's like, ugh. I don't know how to explain, but it's so funny.
Oh fuck, that's funny.
But yeah,
like, he just fronts him.
I remember that happening. This is all positive for me from what I remember.
Yeah, it's just very goofy. It was very goofy to me. It didn't feel like it was really, it knew what tone it was going for.
Right.
The tone becomes a lot clearer and more serious as the movies go on, but I think the movies get worse.
But then I remember Gandalf being like, oh, there's this ring, and he like touches it and he sees the Eye of Sauron. He's like, oh, Frodo, hold on to this, I gotta go to Las Plagas or Mithril or whatever, and he rides to that castle and he's just reading a bunch of letters, and then he just comes back.
Yeah.
He's like, Frodo, you gotta throw it in the fire.
Yeah.
Frodo's like, okay, there's a fire here, and they throw it in.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work, it just, the writing comes on it.
Oh, right.
I remember being like, whoa, that's pretty sick.
And what does it say on it? Like one ring to rule them all or something?
Oh, yeah, it's that whole... I remember the narration is so much.
Oh, yeah, it is a lot in the first one. It's not... there's not as much narration in the others.
Completely forgot about my favourite scene in all of Lord of the Rings, the opening with Isildur and Hugo Weaving.
That's your favourite scene?
I just... From what I remember, it's a great battle scene. Yeah. And then they're at the top of Mount Doom.
Yeah.
And he's like, cast the ring into the fire, Isildur. And it's Hugo Weaving, so you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I don't want it.
Yeah.
And then he dies, and then Gollum finds it. I hate Lord of the Rings. And then they meet up with the other two, Merry and Pippin.
Yeah. It's just so
and then they're running through a field for ages, and then they get caught by the ring wraiths.
Mm-hmm.
But they hide from them because they throw a carrot or something.
Yeah.
And then they go to the the prancing pony. Yeah. And Strider's in there, and it's like, oh, who's this? And it's Aragorn.
Yeah.
And then they go to Rivendell.
Yeah.
And then Gimli is just there.
Yeah.
And Legolas, and he's like, you can have my axe and my bow.
Great
and my
scene.
sword.
I love that scene.
And my carrot. I didn't like that scene.
Oh, I think that's fine.
I'm like, oh man, this movie's going on.
The forming of the Fellowship, that's where the movie kicks off for me.
Oh,
everything before that is very expositional, just all set up. It's like good world building, but it was just very boring. I was like, just get to, the fucking mission or whatever.
Oh, and then he sees Bilbo.
Yeah.
And Bilbo turns into the CGI nightmare.
Yeah.
Literally and metaphorically.
Yeah.
And then he gets stabbed by the blade of Mogul.
Yeah, like every 10 minutes Frodo gets like stabbed or fucking injured, and they're all just carrying his ass.
Yeah.
The entire movie.
And then Liv Tyler heals him after riding on the back of the horse, and then the water kills the ring wraith.
Right.
And then I can't remember how it ends.
They go to Cate Blanchett, and then they go to there's some big battle at
what's the battle?
Sean Bean. I can't remember what the battle is. Sean Bean tries to steal.
That I love that scene too.
Yeah,
where he's being corrupted, but his final moment is to protect.
Yeah, and then
Frodo.
Frodo is talking to Aragorn, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know if I can trust anyone." And Aragorn's like, because his dad is Isildur.
Yes.
And he's like got that inner conflict of whether
that's
or not
why he didn't want to be king.
Yeah, whether or not he's going to be corrupted as well. So he like sends Frodo away.
Yeah.
And then and I thought that moment was great. I thought it was like Frodo, because it's like a bit of both like he could be being corrupted by it because he's been so paranoid that he thinks everyone else is turning against him.
Yeah.
And he decides to just do it himself and stuff. But then Samwise joins him. I was just like, I know the whole through line through all the movies, the backbone of it is Frodo and Sam. Well, just their friendship and like what the ring, how it affects it and stuff. But And the first one would have been it would have been a better ending if Sam didn't just catch up to Frodo immediately after he made that decision.
And then Frodo decides to go through the Mines of Moria instead of around.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then Pippin dies or something. I don't know. You fool of a Took.
No, Merry and
Is this the second one?
In the second one.
Do they go to the Mines of Moria where they fight the Balrog? Is that the first one?
I think that's the first one.
Yeah, and then Pippin knocks the thing in, and then it all the orcs come running after them. They have a cave troll.
Yeah, isn't that when Gandalf dies?
I wasn't sure if that was the second one, though.
No, that's the first one. Okay. But then Gandalf comes back in the second one as Gandalf the White.
Is it Sauron the Wise, or is he white as well?
It's Saruman the White.
Is it Wise or White? I thought it was Gandalf the Wise and Saruman the White.
No, because he's Gandalf the Grey.
Yeah.
And then he dies, and then he's Gandalf the White.
Yeah.
And I think Saruman's Saruman the White as well, because when Gandalf comes back, they look white. The exact same. Yeah, and then there's the Battle of Helm's Deep, which is a great sequence. That's like everybody's favourite. It's a great sequence.
Except for when Legolas is surfing on the shield. I hate that shit.
There's a lot... the effects are not great as well for a lot of the editing for a lot of these action sequences are very choppy.
It was the music that's playing, and I think it was, I don't know, the sound director or engineer or someone on set was like, well, where's the music coming from? Oh, he's like...
No, where's the lighting
coming from? It's like the same place the music's coming from.
Yeah, I like that quote, but I also think the lighting looks like dog shit.
It runs like really bright and blue.
Yeah, it looks like a TV movie.
Oh, okay.
It's very flat in a lot of parts.
And the spider, Shelob?
Yeah.
Is that the second one?
I think that's the third one. What, the one that Smeagol brings them to?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the third one.
Okay.
Because that's the ending of the second one sets that up, where like Smeagol's
What's the ending of the second one?
Smeagol's like talking to himself, and he's like, "Yes, we'll bring him to her, or bring Frodo to her, or whatever, and let her kill him." And then it sets up, what's he talking about? And then
I love that scene of Smeagol when he's just starting to trust Frodo and Sam, but then he gets captured by Faramir.
Yeah.
He's like, this was Frodo and Sam's doing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, damn it.
Yeah.
That's what I remember. I don't know. And he takes him to the faces in the marsh or whatever. This might be the third one.
I think so, yeah.
And he's like, don't look in because you'll see someone you recognise, but it's not really them. Oh. And then Frodo's instantly like, whoa.
I think that might be the second one, actually. Not sure.
Falls in.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of a bunch of pretty decent action set pieces.
I remember the second one being boring. I skipped that one over a lot.
The second one is very boring. The third one's very boring as well. The first one's the only one I got really anything out of.
Okay, I remember the third one is the best.
The third one is better than the second, but...
And Aragorn goes to get the ghost people or whatever... And then at the final fight, he like summons them.
Yeah,
he just like does a cheat code, and then the ghost people come and help him.
Yeah,
but with the games that are based off the movies.
Yeah,
the Fellowship, which might not be based off the movie. I think it might have come out before.
The Fellowship.
Yeah, the video game.
I'm pretty sure I've got the video game. I'm pretty sure it's
okay. That one was good. The second one, the game is not that great. But the third one's. Okay. Pretty good.
Oh no, sorry, I don't have Fellowship. I've got Return.
Return is.
Why is that a thing? That there's like these big fantasy trilogies. The third movie is Return of the. Of the Jedi or the King or.
The game is based off the.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
well, it came out a year later, but because it's got like Tom Bombadil in it, which is like he's only in the book, he's not in the movies.
Right.
It's got like all the expanded stuff,
but a lot of them are a lot of games based on movies are just they have a lot more shit in them.
Yeah,
like,
but it's just the other two. They play differently, they look differently, and they're like just directly the movie.
Yeah.
So that's why I always
thought it was like different.
Yeah.
Okay. Well. The movies themselves just don't hold up as well as I think people.
Just the final battle of Return of the King when they fight a troll again.
Yeah.
You know it was going to be Sauron originally.
Yeah.
But I think Peter Jackson was like, well, that will take away too much from Frodo and Sam.
Yeah.
So we'll just change it to a troll.
Okay.
If Aragorn fights and defeats Sauron.
Yeah.
Or I think it would have been better if they put the ring in the fire in the volcano, and then Aragorn was able to defeat Sauron. It would have given them
like
both.
Aragorn, has more stakes in the fight. Like Frodo is the one you follow doing the whole journey, but Aragorn has more history with it. And
I do love that scene of when I can't remember. I don't know if it's the mouth of Sauron or something. Is like, join us, Aragorn, whatever. And he's like wandering out towards it.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh damn, is he just like gonna just join them? And he's like teary eyed, and he turns back and he's like, for Frodo. And then they all charge out to...
Damn.
Because they think he's dead, I think.
Yeah. Fuck. I don't remember this.
Damn, this is...
This, like... I mean, I only watched this, like, last week.
Did you see the ending?
Yeah, of the third one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay. And then it ends. And then it ends again. And then it ends again.
All three of them kind of do. But
do they?
They all end on this, like, sort of teasing something. And
Oh. I just remember the end of the third one. I think it's the third one where Frodo wakes up in Rivendell and he's like, Sam, Gandalf, Mary, Pippin.
By the way, Merry and Pippin are the most annoying fucking characters.
I remember them being funny.
They're so fucking annoying. Oh, every time they came on screen, I was like, get this naff shit out of my face.
I think it's just, the Two Towers when...
Yeah.
Because that's just like Pippin just does all that on his own. He talks to the Greybeards or whatever the tree people... No, the Greybeards. The tree people.
Are the hobbits all gay?
No.
Because that's the vibe I was getting. They all seem pretty gay for each other. Like,
this is a political podcast, dude. You can't be saying that stuff.
Why are there only male hobbits?
There's female hobbits as well.
I didn't see a single female.
You remember
hobbit.
the
at
big
least not proportionally.
You don't remember the big fat one at the start who's like cussing them out?
Gimli.
The woman hobbit, not the man dwarf.
Gandalf. I don't.
Yeah, they're all called Gandalf.
Kate Blanchett.
I'm done.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings is not.
That's why we put it in good, so get ready for bad.
Yeah, we'll be back with the bad soon. We'll take a short break.
Alright, bye everyone.
We'll see you in a jiffy. Bye.